What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 16 of my Total Warhammer 3 Vlad and Isabella Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Matilda von Sinclair has destroyed the massive mountain of orcs at the desolation of Drakenmoor and will be raising it shortly. Of course, that is not a done deal, as in we are still going to be fighting a lot more orcs here, as the Crooked Moon regular, not mutinous Gits are still at war with us and are holding Mount Gunbad with that precious gold mine, which she will be taking. Plus Clan Ferric has also declared war on us, so she'll be killing some Skaven as well. Should be a fun time. In addition to that, our vampire Rudolf Skellan Rudy is sieging Doc Karaz, mostly because we need to manually fight this, otherwise his army will die. So we will deal with that shortly, and Vlad will move up to Prague as soon as he can to retake that. We also destroyed Gotrek and Felix with Pete, who is now going to try to take Fort Chakova and these other territories, mostly so that we have them for ourselves, although I'm a little bit wary of keeping them. If we could trade these things from Draika, and we saw last time that it is very likely, this would probably be a decent time to do so. So we'll see about that. Anyway, I believe it's time to move in terms of we moved everybody with the exception of that siege. Okay, well that works for me. Let's just do this fight real quickly, manually, because we can't auto-resolve. I don't imagine the enemy stands too much of a chance against the zombie spam coming in from our Necrarch, though once again, I've been surprised before. We also have a decent amount of range available in this army. And I really want to get this army properly outfitted. Like, gotta get those ethereal units, those Mournguls, whatever else we want in here. And I think perhaps with Batilda's army, we're going to go a little bit more heavy into Graveguard, but also maybe a few vampires, as well as the chariots, maybe 2 Mortis engines instead of 1, and then a couple black coaches. Gotta have an army that's a little bit more focused on those. The black coaches would also work in the Necrarch's army as well, but I don't know. I feel like the Lamians may want to drive in style. Anyway, start deployment. We are going to keep all of you hidden somewhere safe where the towers can't reach you, so let's put you in this corner. And minus you can maybe move into the enemy settlement. And the Mournguls, do we need to charge with them, or do we just keep them somewhere safe as well? Let's see. We could put them up on this side. They do have stock, so the enemy wouldn't be aware of them. You know what? Maybe we keep the Mournguls and these units here. And the Black Knights as well. Let's say, I don't know, here. The enemy will react to this in some way, I'm sure, but the rest of our army is going to be in a different location. Alrighty, now. Or do we put the Black Knights in a different location altogether, like here? You know, let's do that. Let's see what the enemy does to that. I doubt that they're going to block both entrances after all. Alrighty, you're going to be doing the most of our damage, however. Let's set up our relatively unhurt, or the less hurt units here. It's still going to have to be the Graveguard taking the damage. In fact, maybe just the Graveguard alone. Everybody else move back, let's say, to here, minus the Graveguard. Like so. And then we will have our ranged units providing some support, and I think that's about it. I guess you guys can move a little bit closer. I mean, you're not too badly hurt. Let's put you behind or with the Graveguard as well, then. Like so, in a blob, then. Alright, group 1, group 2, good enough for me. Let's get to it. Try to do this quickly. Move up. Range units, get ready to go after that platform. We have a tower on the field. Let's go kill it with our Lord. And the Graveguard can keep moving up. Alright, let's see what the enemy has done on this side. We have a single unit of Goblin Wolf Riders. Alright, we shouldn't be too difficult to take those out. And how about on this side? Looks like they haven't reacted to our Black Knights at all. Works for me. Alright, move it in, and Graveguard move up. Ranged units kill those goblins. You. And take your sweet time killing this thing, ain't ya? Well, it's okay, you can start summoning zombies on the enemies. Honestly, it would probably be just 10 times faster to kill this with our archers, but they're going to take a little bit of time to move up, so. Alrighty, and the Gobos are in, and you know what I should have done? I should have sent the 2 corpse carts in as well. It's all good. How are we on this side? You guys are running away. Mournguls, get ready to engage with them. Black Knights. Let's have one of you move in here. Actually, let's have both of you move in here. If the enemy reacts to it, we'll just charge them. Like so. Alright, how are you doing with the killing at the tower? Nearly dead. You might need to heal yourself, though. Let's get another Invocation of Nehek, and let's get another zombie summoning as well. You're gonna have to move it away from that tower slightly. But the summoning is complete, good. And this tower is not going to be up as yet, so we will just start moving away. Let's have these units chase down those gobos, while our archers move up front. And same with our corpse guards. Alrighty, enemy tower is down. Beautiful. You can now join the fray and hit those orc boys in the back once they've dropped... once you've dropped another set of zombies. Looks like we're good up here. Mournguls, you are still not ready to engage. Come on. Moving a little bit slower than I thought you would. Aren't you supposed to be relatively fast? 45 speed, actually not that fast. Alrighty, and who's attacking you guys? Oh, archers. Pff, okay. Good luck, archers. You should be dead shortly. And another zombie set down here. Lovely. Graveguard move in. Archers of various types. Okay, wait. Graveguard move in here. Rather here, and then skeletons there. We can move you archers up. You two can destroy that tower. Corpse carts up. And Lord moving in. Alright, you are just about done for. And Mournguls, have you engaged? Yes, indeed you have. Doggos, follow up on that. You're a lot more fragile, but you got the Mournguls tanking for you. One more set of zombies. Now, you know what? Overcast it, summon a unit of skeletons instead. Make us a little bit faster. And keep healing yourself to full, why not? Alrighty, Skelly boys, go in there, together with the new arrivals, rather. And archers. Tower is down, all of you. Hit that unit of orc boys, you as well. One of you corpse guards head towards that, the other one head towards the main enemy line. Looks like the enemy archers are dead. One of you guys can recapture this location. Ignore those orc boys. How's that unit of wolf riders also dead? Move up to capture another location. For example, their center here. Oh, lovely. And alright, you guys have captured this. I think we should be just about done here. A few more hits for the enemy units, another set of zombies up in here. And maybe one more heal for yourself, and I think we're just going to speed it up now. I think it should be over. Keep attacking that. That unit's gonna rout, and actually surprising that these units haven't routed, but they're working on it. Archers, or crossbows, or whatever you are. Actually a combination of both, so. Alrighty, hey, there's more archers down there. Okay, you guys somehow move in and kill that. I should have sent the doggos after this one. Oh, well, you can move around then. Okie dokie, doggos have captured this location, or are about to, though they've taken a little bit of damage. And kill that gobbo unit. Playing on max speed now, because we can certainly find a better battle than this. There we go. Good enough for me. That really should have been auto-resolvable, but I wasn't willing to lose half the army in terms of auto-resolve, even if we could have gotten them back via Raised Dead without too much difficulty. Especially because something might attack us. We're in fairly dangerous near enemy territory after all. And I only say near because we'll be moved out of this Orky location and into Dwarfen location right after. Alrighty, and a free Scepter of Stability, which isn't really worth anything, but we can sack the place. Don't bother occupying it. Got yourself a Leadership War and a Plunderer. Nice, more income from sacking. That's actually fairly useful. Now you're gonna march stance. Are you able to go through this location? Yes, you are. We will be trespassing, of course, but hopefully the dwarfs don't get too angry about it. At least hopefully not enough to actually attack us. And hey, the Forest of Gloom has finally healed. Yeah, I really regret not healing it fully or repairing it before giving it to our allies. Also, we got more Necros coming our way. So let's summon you. Wait, there was a disciplined one. Yes, you, Diederik. Yeah, leadership and melee attack. I guess you are going to go to... You know, we need another one here, and I feel like you're going to have more Graveguard. Well, I guess you guys could use leadership as well. I guess they both could use them. Alright, fine. Let's just keep one here. Let's just keep you here. The next disciplined one will go to Batilda instead of Rudy. And away you go. And you're going to be you're not going to be a field agent, you're going to be an actual army. So start building Invocation of Nehek instead of all this stuff. Alrighty. Looking good. And I do believe with that we're ready to end the turn minus any potential builds we got going. Stirland. You need yourself a gibbet, and we got another... Nope, that's not a gibbet. We do need to upgrade Needling, which will happen in 2 turns. Wurtbad, do we want to upgrade your walls? You're still okay. Though once again, it's only a matter of time before various of these factions declare war on us. Reichland mostly. Talbeckland still seems pretty cool with us. They're almost even willing to trade. I just don't want to give them 3,000 gold for it, because it would take way too long for it to pay for itself. At 30 turns, it will probably decrease in the time. You know what, maybe it is worth it. Let's see if we can build another gibbet, and if we can't, we'll give it to them. Though that said, if our relationship is increasing with them, we might be able to do it without paying them anything at all. So maybe we'll do with that. Keep Matorka unrepaired, because it might get attacked by Belagar, who still isn't at war with us, but you never know, that could change quickly. Peak Pass, the rest of this looks good to me. At least for now. We got a few more gibbets coming up, but we gotta wait a few turns before they're fully ready. So, let's skip the rest of this, including the damage building and the unassigned skill points, as we'll deal with them when we need to. Let's end the turn, and let's see what the enemy's got for us. Oh, I think there might have been a city to upgrade somewhere here. Karak Raziak, maybe? One of the new ones. Also, I know I wanted to potentially ally with Sartosa, but I think that they have better locations for us to take in terms of locations that will make us a lot of money. And I don't want to do that right now. You're fighting with the Western provinces, so I'm not going to do that. I feel like we take Sartosa from Sartosa and possibly Telia as well, because there's a good chance that they have it. And that'll make us a lot more money than allying with the with this faction. The Dread Fleet is who we're gonna go for. I'm sure Nikolaus von Carstein is gonna be perfectly willing to ally his Dread Fleet to us. Anyway, let's move you to Eckendorf. Looks like the enemy are fairly far away, though I suppose you could attack us if you really wanted to. We'll see. And it looks like Belagar's gone elsewhere, which is lovely for us. You are now healing. Good. And what do we have in terms of raised dead here? Hey, we can raise a Karen Wraith. Any Hex Wraiths here? At least one. Alright. Alright, we can start building ghostly units. Ooh, a Vargulf. Hey, another Morngol. Nice. And no Mortis Engine, unfortunately. Would have been really nice, but it's okay. We'll get a Mortis Engine somewhere eventually. For you, I mean. Now, Vladdy.
King of Darkness.
What are you gonna do? So, the problem with this guy, Chant Trigox, is that we can't trade these things from Draika until he's dead, although it does look like Ziltathios is gonna go for him. You need to go after Fort Chikova, but Fort Chikova has decent defenders, so I think what we'll do is we'll raise some more dead, the cheapest ones, and then we'll siege it. Can we win this on the field battle? There's a lot of archers, but we do have counters to at least some of the archers, plus our vamp to raise dead on top of them. I think we'll be fine. I have a feeling that they'll sally out, which will mean a little tiny battle. Alrighty, looks good to me. Next up, what do we got? You.
What?
You could grab Zavastra if you wanted to, because we're going to try to grab this entire province. Alternatively, we move north and try to grab Prague right now. Right under the nose of both the forces of the Ecstatic Legions, i.e. Azazel, and Kislev. Now, Kislev, how many territories do you have? 3? 4, alrighty. So you are holding some of this stuff here, so if we take Prague, one of the problems here will be is... Oh. Corruption, eh? Events, commandments, and adjacent provinces. I take it Prague is Skaven-owned, then. You're gonna search ruins instead of... Well, you're exhausted anyway. If it's Skaven-owned, we don't need to go there. Oh, wow, there's some nice battles have happened here. Ah, yes. It is indeed Skaven-owned. Okay, I'm glad I didn't waste a turn sending Vlad there, then. You do not... You want to get Wound, but you do not need your Nightmare. Interesting. We could always move Vlad up here to raise some dead if we wanted something specific, but we could also ferry some stuff over. Now the question is, where do we go then? Zavastra should be easy, and we can move from Zavastra to Fort Ostrovsk. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do then. Alrighty, Vlad. Take Zavastra. Occupy it. There we go, and we won't go to full in one turn, but we will in a second turn after we move out. Ooh, Erengrad, hello. Now that is a nice pickup as well, and we should, I think, be able to build the Erengrad Harbor. We're probably gonna declare war on the Clan Mulder as well. They don't like us very much because they like the Ecstatic Legions as their defensive allies. I actually wanted to potentially ally with the rats in some capacity, but apparently not the case. All good. All good. Zavastra, start leveling up. We're not going to collect the income here. Let's keep it positive. Good. Now, Waller, you are staying where you are unless there's a Bloody Hands army near you, which I don't see. Matilda, you are going to raise the Desolation of Drakenmore. Although you... you're exhausted. We're gonna hope to assassinate. What about here? 71 4... Huh, your actual chance to die from this is fairly low. Although your chance to succeed is fairly low as well. 71 4 29, I think they're the same, aren't they? You're level 4 and you're level 4. Oh, damn, they're both the same levels. After this guy. No dice, but it's okay. Not surprising considering you're exhausted. You are going to auto-resolve this. And what? Probably going to be a little bit of damage to us, but all good. And raise the place. Alrighty, faction destroyed, Slaves of Tsar, and we now have our Ruin Barrier. Looks like the rats have decided to jump over the Silver Pinnacle and go up here. We may need Pete to actually react to this. Especially because the defenses here are going to be a little bit low. I do have to wonder what is in this army. I doubt that they can take Batilda's Triumph, though. And is there anything else that's in a lot of danger from this? From that army, probably only Karakungor and Karakaraziak, but once again, we do have Pete there, so not super concerned, though it does depend on if the enemy sallies out or not. Malthsar von Waldenhof, your turn. You are not exhausted anymore, so try to kill this guy. 50-50. He's not on guard. Steel Tech instead. And success, lovely. Alright, though the cost is great, we will eventually reach a point where we've done enough tech not to have to worry about it. Also, we are now saving up for that upkeep reduction, which is going to be quite swell. Well, let's keep moving our heroes. Diedrich, rather. Let's move you out here where you were going. And Gaspar Barakmir, you are going to join Vlad as his new necromancer.
This is a mistake.
Selig. Ooh, wow, look at all these armies from Festus. Yeah, Festus is doing pretty good. You're exhausted, so you can't steal tech, can you? Your chance of getting wounded is quite low, though. Though... Do we even bother? Well, give it a try. If you fail, you fail. Wait, actually... If you fail, it'll cost us 342, which is actually not so bad. Nah, try it. Nah, failure, it's okay, but you leveled up from it, so not as much of a failure as it looks. Let's get boost income. And then are you still able to steal tech? Well, you have to be. Oh, another failure. Yeah, these two have been failing a lot lately. Disappointing. Okie dokie, and then lastly, wait, Caspar, did I not move you? Thought I did. Alrighty, and that's it for the armies, isn't it? Alrighty, let's just build something up. I think there was something here. But apparently not. Alrighty, well, there was something somewhere. There's always something somewhere. Yes, give it here. Good, more money. And we'll wait for you. We'll wait for you next turn. We need 3,600 to spend here. Let's check out the rest of this. Looks good, though we could get a little bit more cash here, but I think it's probably not worth our time right now. Matorka, let's level you up. I think we're ready to repair you. Though I do imagine that the pirates are probably gonna come back. Hopefully your army will be ready to counter them as soon as they do. And let's repair that port as well, then. And that'll be most of the stuff that we can build this turn. Solend, you're good. We're insofar as we don't want to upgrade anything. We're good here. We are good here. We are, maybe we start upgrading the Lich Yards everywhere, but at 2,000 gold, I feel like we're better off getting walls and other stuff. And same with Castle Drakenhof, you are able to get a vampire up, though. Let's keep an eye on the vampires. Weapon Master, ooh, Disciplined, and it's a Lure of Death. You know what? I think we'll take it. Madeline von Schwarzhofen. Yes, perfect. That's actually completely perfect. You're going to join Vlad's force as his other vampiress, which I did want, and you can lead the Devils of Schwarzhofen. Maybe you were a Devil of Schwarzhofen and you were spared from being forcibly turned into a Vargeist. as the von Carsteins like to do. Anyway, let's skip the rest of this. Building upgrade available, yada yada yada. Let's end the turn. Really got to get those extra blood kisses, though. Settlement besiege, Fort Chakova, and aha, these guys are indeed going to sally out. Now, do we fight this cinematically? It's going to be a very tiny battle, but it might be a fun one just by virtue of the fact that we have mostly basic troops. You know what, why not? There's no guarantee that we find an actual difficult battle this particular episode. Although, to be fair, we haven't been finding any difficult battles at any point.
Soon, my legions, soon.
Well, I wouldn't call them legions yet, Pete. Not quite yet. Ooh, you have the red version of the shield. I like that. I believe they can get several different types of shields. This one's really blood dragon-y looking. In fact, what's the crest on it? Could that possibly be some sort of dragon? Yeah, real red despite the von Carstein theme, and it definitely looks very different from the rest of his armor. But it does match his cloak, to be fair, and man, you gotta love their armor and their cloaks. Anyway, I'm getting distracted, as usual. The enemy arrayed before us has a lot of range, in fact very few melee units, and are relying primarily on Kossars with a couple units of spears, as well as a single unit of Kossovite dervishes. Our army is also kind of badly damaged, but that said, I don't believe the enemy has any kind of chance here. Honestly, we could probably do this with 2 skeleton spears and the Lord and probably the bats alone, so a third of this army would be sufficient, mostly because the AI is really terrible at dealing with raised dead. So we're gonna run Pete in directly against them, and we're gonna start by summoning a unit of undead right in the middle of their archer blob. This is also quite advantageous to us in the sense that the enemy are deployed within a forested area, and thus can't really get more mileage out of their a nice swing, buddy. They can't get even more mileage out of their ranged units. Alrighty, plus it's going to take them quite some time to bring down a vampire lord, especially without any elite units. Obviously, we are going to repeatedly summon zombies while the rest of our army moves in. Going to take a little bit of damage from the enemy ranged fire, but certainly nothing to be concerned with. We are going to have 2 of our skeleton units to flank the enemy, while the skeleton spears remain together with the zombies to essentially tie them up, as obviously the skeleton warriors do a little bit more damage, though let's face it, it ain't a huge difference. And of course our bats are going to move in. They're going to get ready to hit those enemy Kossars that are isolated by themselves. Not a great position for them to be in. While the main enemy host just deals with all the zombies. Zombie 1, here comes another set of zombies. Rudy ain't the only one that can do this, but just because Rudy can do it better doesn't mean that Petey can do the same thing. Alrighty, we got our direwolves charging into the back of the enemy. Gonna do a little bit of damage to them via the rear charge, but then gonna get back out before the enemy lord, i.e. their spear unit, which is their main unit, tries to damage our direwolves. Don't want to get those guys killed because we will be needing them to chase enemies down. And just back them off and help the bats with the destruction of this little isolated Kossar force here. Also, near the Empire, and I guess parts of Kislev, you get all these really lovely maps with this lovely sky and lighting. This is clearly Kislev, judging by the architecture in the background. And I guess, well, the actual location, but the map type is very similar to the Empire, because we are near the borders, after all. So yeah, really love fighting on these. Not as much as I love watching the undead fight in snow, though. That's just the best. The contrast of the blood against the snow, but be the darker forms of the undead with all their black armor, and, well, I guess red and black armor in the case of the von Carstein specifically. Really easy to see them. Alrighty, well, it looks like that Kossar unit is just about done, and we will be chasing it off with these 3 units. Our skeleton warriors have also engaged the enemy and are going to be fighting in this unit of spears one-on-one. In terms of stats, we got 22, 27 versus 20 and 34, though once again, we do have that perfect vigor on our basic units, which generally allows you to edge out the enemy basics, at least after a while, especially with the higher HP pools that we've got running. Plus, we are are still summoning more and more zombies. Looks like the enemy Kosovo dervishes are kind of in a bad situation here, getting surrounded. Indeed, pretty much this entire blob of Kossars is kind of screwed over now. And just too many zombies all over the place, and the skeleton spears moving in behind them as well. Looks like we have a pretty good handle on things now. The balance of power is definitely in our favor, even if it is only slightly. And here come the bats to rear charge the remaining enemy units that are not yet tied up, which is these 2 units of Kossars that are right on the edge. Also, Felbats may seem quite small when you use them, but they're actually pretty big. I mean, this is basically a man-sized bat. And just because Vargeists are huge, can't forget that these, I mean, imagine one of these things frickin' attacking you in real life. That's not, that doesn't sound fun. Regardless of all the diseases and stuff, but it's still a damn huge bat for all things. I do wonder how effective these things are from a lore perspective. I gotta read up on the bats a little bit more. See how a regular soldier might fare against one of these, at least in close combat. And I suppose these things are also all about the numbers, just like most of the undead stuff, so when you're faced off with like a dozen of these per unit, that ain't so great. Anyway, Pete's still in the middle of the center of the enemy formation here, and the enemy formation is having a pretty bad time. Looks like they're all ready to rout, and the Lord looks like the only one whose morale is completely okay. They're just shaken and merely tired, but they're about to get hit in the back by our direwolves, those that they had chased off earlier from killing their allies. Time for the doggos to get their revenge. Alrighty, there we go. Spearmen start falling, both from the back and from the front, and it looks like the enemy's wavering now, broken, and I believe the rest of the army shall follow suit. Well done to Pete. Alrighty, Zombie Blob is once again victorious with a little bit of help from the fast-moving monstrous units. And I'm sure Pete himself did have fun in there somewhere. Let's just see, out of curiosity. Plus, he was causing fear the entire time, but I suppose all the undead do that. He doesn't have supernatural horror, so he doesn't have the terror ability, but he will when he's on a zombie dragon anyway. Now it's just a simple matter of chasing him down. He's got 55 kills to his name as well, not too bad. Though I imagine that the direwolves and the bats will have plenty more just by virtue of being better at chasing units. Alrighty, they look like, I don't know, not quite as fast wings as a hummingbird, but damn, look very strange when the game is at full speed like this, don't they? Alright, my cat's meowing in the distance. Alrighty, and we are nearly done. A couple more units remaining to chase off, but it looks like we destroyed them with very, very few casualties. Oh, right, we can't check our actual casualties because our army was damaged from the start. There we go. Alrighty, a heroic victory. Very nice to Pete. You've taken barely any damage there, and the enemy army destroyed nearly to a man. Occupy the place. Free iron. Always a nice find. Okie dokie. And I'm happy that they did indeed sally out and put that in our favor. The AI auto-resolve definitely underestimates the basic undead. And ooh, is it time? Has Festus finally declared war on us? Yes, indeed he has. Beautiful. Alright, that works. That works because I did want to attack him with Vlad, and I wasn't entirely sure where to go, so that's where we're going. Draika, what you want? You want a military alliance now. Would you get us into any wars with the Imperial provinces? Also, have you killed that little army belonging to that little, I don't know where it went. Which is kind of annoying. Hopefully it's not an ambush somewhere. You know what, let's ask you for Mordheim, but maybe not with the military alliance as of yet. Trade settlement, where's Mordheim? You like to give it up for free because it's just a garbage little outpost? Yeah, that works. Yeah, let's take more time and leave the military alliance off the table for now. As long as we're growing in terms of our friendship, I'm happy with that. Let's take this entire province since we're holding Beckhofen, and we can surround... Oh, a war with Wintertooth. Good. I'm actually really glad for all these extra wars because it'll mean more for Vlad to do as he's sitting up north here rather than pursuing Reichland. Vissenland. Yeah, you want a trade agreement now. And last turn you wanted 3,000 gold for it, Vissenland. Yes, we shall trade with you, buddy. Will you give us more money? You will not. Would you give us some military access if we give you some money? No, apparently not. Alright, he'll ask for military access eventually because he likes us. And we're gonna get bonus reputation with him later on anyway. Red Duke. Ended our non-aggression. Oh, come on. What? Moussillon. Rude. Post-battle chance of stealing a magic item. Corpse Thief. Nice for Pete, though I am curious to see whether Vlad has a Corpse Thief of his own. He does not. You know what? Steal it from Pete for now. I'm sure Pete will get his own Corpse Thief. And in fact, wait. Campaign line of sight, no. Yeah, I'll take the Corpse Thief. Your recruitment for Banshees, yeah. What did we have to do to get this? Won a battle. Do you know how many battles we've won, game? How is this the first Corpse Thief we've got? Come on. It'd be funny if it wasn't annoying. Yet I'm still laughing. Let's see what we got back here. Dawnstone, Potion of Healing, Vlad's okay, and yeah, still lack enchanted items fairly considerably, so... Okie dokie, Vlad. Now, you are going to go after Chant Trigox here. He is basically dead. I don't even know why he's here. You have to try to assassinate by yourself. Ah, Arcady the Cursed, you again. But you die now. I like how the Necromancer said die, even as he, well, killed him. You, Vlad, are gonna auto-resolve this to death. He's gonna run, but he drew really weirdly close to us, so... Oh, wow. 99999, huh? Actually, that was one too many nines, but it would have been nice if it was that many nines. Auto-resolve this. Free XP, maybe a free item if we're lucky. No dice. It's okay. Let's take the money. And then, hey, a Scroll of Shielding. That can be turned into something else, though. Now, what I think we want to do with Vlad is... Do we send you back to Zavastra? Or do we... No, we don't have military access with these guys, do we? Do we? No, but we have to try to get it. Not for 7,000 gold, though. Alright, Vlad, you can wait. It also might not be beneficial to just outright destroy Festus's armies, because they're essentially keeping these guys in check. I would love it if he actually destroyed Wolfenburg for us, then we get that gold mine, and then move up to Erengrad afterwards. You know what, Vlad, for now, stay in Zavastra. Heal up for one more turn, and then maybe we go after your von Carstein ring while we wait. There's still plenty for you to do, after all. Next up, who do we got back here? You guys. Need to steal some more tech. You've got... 4 here, and 34 and 1. Go here to Krugenwald. Another failure. You. 49 and 2. 28 and 3. 27 and 4. Let's go 28 and 3, just because I don't want you to get wounded. It's a little bit too expensive, but... There we go. At least you succeeded, though only for a mere 3 turns. We're still only at 235. Damn, gotta get those numbers up. Not that infiltrate noble houses earlier. Alrighty, Waller. Double checking on you like we do every turn. And, ooh. I don't like how Beligar's here. You know what? For a turn, you're gonna go back to Fort Saul. Just in case he attacks, so he could very well just jump over. Also, Arguelon. We're still okay, but, let's just double check our quick deal, see if there's anything else interesting. Oh look, Barrow Legion is now friendly.
Say what you must, but know you play a dangerous game.
There you go. I guess they lost some stuff. I'm still upset a little bit at Moussillon for breaking our pact. Also, Middenland. Do we want to do anything with you? I'm not sure. And, ooh, Caravan of Blue Roses, that's only at minus 2.6 now. We will want to confederate you eventually, so we need to friendly eyes you. Non-aggression pact, you do it for 8k. It's a little bit steep. What if we join war against some random ogre faction? Or Poxmakers. Yeah, you do it for a war against Poxmakers. It's not like we'll be allying with Poxmakers. They'd have an aversion of -100, and yeah, you know what? Let's do that. And give us some money while you're at it. It ain't much, but it's...
Let's begin.
That'll work. Alright, what else do we have here? Possible trade agreements with the Dissenter Lords, but no, we need the Western Provinces for that. Tulzen, you're kind of okay. Just gotta keep making sure we continue to do diplomacy stuff. You still want your military alliance, Draika. Oh, actually, Draika, while we're at it, let's actually ask for Essen as well. Not military alliance, trade settlement, Essen. I wish we could just take more of these settlements at the same time, because she doesn't need them. She's not doing anything with them. She can fight down here, and she can have all the magical forests. The next magical forest we come upon, hopefully we'll give it to her as well. Anyway, Beckhofen and Essen, you have no increase in growth out of that, unfortunately. So let's start building charnel pits into lich yards to develop this place as quickly as possible. You have pottery, eh? Yeah, you are also going to go for a charnel pit, at least at first. Then obviously when they're all level 3, we just go gibbets and start generating extra cash. Also, while we're here, just get Nagenhof as well. It doesn't look like anything's threatening it anyway. Nagenhof, and yes. Lovely, thank you, Draika. Appreciate it. Draika's a great ally. Definitely one of the best I've had in many across campaigns. She's helpful, she gives us stuff. Now, Peter, you could grab Vitivo immediately. Or you could head north towards Bok the Lethal. The thing is, he can't attack Khazid Irkulaz, and I don't think he can attack Batilda's Triumph. Ooh, Skarsnik is coming, though. He can't take Fallen King Mountain, though, and he can't take Grom Peak, though it does depend on what exactly is in his army. A little bit concerned about Grom Peak, actually. It'll depend on what he tries. Either way, Batilda, let's have... Well, first of all, you are going to kill this. There we go. And hey, more assassinate success chance. Alrighty, our assassin Banshee is doing good. You are going to move up to the Silver Pinnacle. Wait, stop. There's an army here, A, but it is weak. But B, we could raise stuff if we want it. You know what? I'm gonna give some thought as to what perhaps we want to raise. We want to save enough money, but if there's other fights to do this turn, let's do those, and then we'll move you afterwards. Rudolph, you are also ironically need to raise dead. Let's move you, at least for now, into... Oh, hello. Queek is here. And we're the only faction that he's at war with. Well, him and Draika. Interestingly. Man, you know what I gotta pay attention to? I gotta pay attention to when Draika moves in the movement order next time we end the turn. Because, for example, if she's trying to go after Queek and we were to move beside him, we can't do it right now because we can't reach him. But there will be situations where we can take advantage of that. And I guess you need to move towards Matorka now. Alrighty, the question is, what do we want to get rid of here? We need to raise at least a couple things. I want the ghosts raised so that new ghosts can take their places, essentially. Which means you and you. This is all going to get transferred to Peter, because that's going to be the basis of his army. The skeletons are free to go if we need them to. I feel like I'd rather keep the bats and the doggos to run down enemy archers and Skaven slave slingers and that sort of stuff. So I guess we need to get rid of skeletons. We don't have a lot of anti-large, but the Varix Reavers and the Black Knights can, in combination with the Mourngulls, can deal with cavalry if we want. But you know what? I think we get rid of the skeleton warriors. We'll keep these guys because they're a little bit more defensive. And then we want to raise one Mourngull set, right here. We want to raise at least one Karen Wraith, and then what do we do for the Hex Wraith? Do we get rid of another one of these guys? We could get rid of one of the crossbows, but I... You know what? Wait, if we get rid of one of the crossbows immediately, it just goes back in the pool, right? So Peter can immediately recruit it if he wants to. I forget from where. Does it count as a regiment of renown, maybe? Also, Wargrove of Woe, why can we still only deal with... Why can we only build this? It may be that because she has malevolent versions of everything, we can't actually access to some of her stuff, which might mean that we are probably going to want to ally with Durthu to get access to his items. Obviously, Cathay remains the main thing, but we need to be able to give them something for it, which we just don't have yet. Anyway, Peter, let's take Vitevo, and I'm just gonna hope that Bok can't take anything here. At the end of the day, we could always raise a Necromancer to grab it for us. And this will get this entire province colonized. Lovely. And maybe we have you take some stuff from Vlad. We could always take it and move Vlad up here to raise some stuff. That might be the way to go. And then move Peter back out this way as well as down here to join up with you before hitting Averland and taking the interior of this territory for ourselves. The Empire, I mean. You are not going to bother with the ghoul stuff, but you are going to build that dark iron mining pit, though we need it rank 3 before we get the good effect. You know what? No, let's go for the charnel pit for now. Actually, no, you're at rank 2. You can build walls next turn because we can't afford it now. Yeah, let's go for the charnel pit. And then we'll delete it later. Alrighty, looks like everybody here is good to me. And, oh, we don't have the money for this stuff, do we? And we don't have money to raise dead on Batilda. That said, this army is coming near. Let us move a little bit closer, like here, let's say. Nothing crazy. And go into ambush, with the hopes that this army is going to move up towards the Silver Pinnacle and we can destroy it, and thereafter still raise some dead. Alrighty, so that's Batilda. And anybody else? Rudy. I wanted to raise some more stuff, but we don't have the cash for it. Vlad, if you weren't in March stance, I'd send you to fight your battle right now. Damn. We might have to cancel some build stuff, but definitely not here. Where else did I spend money this turn? I think, oh, it might have just been raising. Meaning you can't raise, meaning you just stay here. We want to remain in Akendorf, not in Matorka. We're in Akendorf right now, yeah? Yeah. So just stay exactly here. We'll see how Queek reacts to all this. Mostly I just want to raise at least one more ghost unit. And those hex rates. Okay, and then I guess that's nobody else raising stuff. Is anybody willing to give us any money for any kind of diplomacy stuff? Looks like that's a no, minus the Dissenter Lords, but once again, I don't want to piss off the Western provinces because that's a potential alliance in our future. Still friendly with you, but the defensive alliances, you know what, I think later on we're just going to save up some money and do this, because otherwise it's not going to be possible. I've been hoping that she'll declare war on more enemy factions, but it just ain't happening. And Draika, we could do the military alliance with you finally and get enough money. I think. How much money would you give us for this? 1.4k, so at least 3 uses of our heroes. Alright, let's go back to regular diplomacy for a second. I want to see something. We are deteriorating with Musion because they don't like the strategic threat, I suppose. Wait, they also... No, it's just a version. That's disappointing, Musion. Well, hopefully you'll be friendly again once you lose all your armies. And oh, looks like the Lamian Sisterhood's been destroyed for good. Probably by Grimgor? Yeah, it's by Grimgor. This will likely mean that Grimgor is going to come for us, which means we need to wall up the World's Edge Mountains here as quickly as possible. Alrighty. Well, I guess if we can't move the heroes, unless there's one that can do stuff for cheap. Not Vlad. You've already moved this turn, so you're actually good. Anybody here can move for cheap. Diedrich, you're actually joining this army, so you don't need to do anything. Madeline, you're in the same situation. Actually, you're joining Vlad. Caspar, you are joining Vlad as well. And you're nearly there. And then Malsar is the only one that hasn't moved. Actually, one not moved is not too bad. And I take it we can't afford this? Yeah, a little bit short. What about this? A little bit short as well. All good. I suppose we could still cancel something here. Like one of these charnel pits. Alright, fine. Cancel the one at Beckhofen then. And also Foster Terror. I lost that hero, damn it. He's all the way down here and doing Moors. Try to assassinate. We need more blood kisses. Hey, very nice. We're at 4 now. 8 more to go, and then we have that 10% reduction. Gotta love those Necrarchs. And their knowledge. Another commandment, that's gotta be here in Karkaraz. Nope, that's gotta be here in Fort Chakova. Foster Terror. Yes. And now just taking a quick look at Castle Drakenhof, we no longer need the construction cost reduction here, at least not right now, so we're going to switch you out to harvest corpses. Castle Tempelhof, you can still foster terror for a while yet, though. So we'll keep that as it is, skip this, end the turn. Let's see if we can't get one more battle going, but if we're not, then, well, not much we can do about it. Supervisor for Vlad, because he spent a turn in March Stance, I take it? Yeah. And the extra campaign movement range is always a nice pickup. Sartosa's probably coming for us shortly, so maybe it was a good time to get our Necromancer out of the raiding and into the fort. Anybody got anything interesting for us? Nope. Alrighty. So we've picked up, what, about 7 or 8 new territories very recently. New settlements, rather, each one of which will give us a gibbet that will give us another 500 gold, so that should increase our money by about 4,000, which is good. Scheme of Doom performed. Reichland Confederated Middenland. Oh, I really hope that they don't confederate you. That would be unfortunate. We really also need that damn military access, but are you at war with anybody we can join? No. Damn. The thing is, we need to go through their territory to get to Festus. Although Festus is still up here. You know what? Screw it. We're leaving Festus alone. We don't have a lot of time left in this particular episode, but we do have time for at least one thing, which is the von Carstein ring. So, in that light, Karstein ring. Let's get the money from this as well. Let's give this a quick read. The Karstein ring has returned to its master to unlife once more. However, the resurrection of Vlad, first of the vampire counts, has proved difficult. The power of the ring now fades, so Vlad must do something about it if he is to use its benighted abilities in the future. For this he will need warpstone, mined from a seam deep in the desolation of Nagash. A chunk of Morsleeb fell from the sky and struck the area many years back, scattering the land with more than enough of the chaos-infused rock for Vlad's needs. A lightning strike at the time is the best approach. Anyone foolish enough to stand in his way will be obliterated or inducted into his army's ranks. And it gives us 2 blood kisses as well, which is always nice. And Karstein ring gives us a massive amount of damage resistance, ward save, wound recovery time, melee resistance, casualty replenishment rate for army, and enemy action hero success reduction. A really good item. Some items are just absolute garbage and some are just amazing. It's very interesting. There's definitely no balance between items, I gotta say, though I suppose if you consider the items as part of their lord, you could just, well, consider them to be part of the lord. Anyway, let's get this teleportation going. I didn't even check what enemies we're facing, but I doubt it'll matter. Well, let's get to it, obviously cinematically, because it's a quest battle.
Do me this deed. Purge the area of insects, so thy master could collect this warpstone unchallenged. Ha! If my memory serves, then I sought out such material in Mordheim some centuries ago. Halcyon days, when my minions hunted Wieldstone, and the Empire was in ruins, as it will be again. Fetch me the head of this Strigoi. I would have this nuisance quashed!
Alrighty, here we go. I got a little bit of lag when starting that battle, and I swear I got lag when I did this battle in Warhammer 2 as well. Maybe there's some issue with this map, or something that's on this map here, as in one of the enemy types of units. But anyway, here we go. This is a pretty darn simple sort of battle, because we have a primary target, which is the enemy lord, and the rest of his army isn't really relevant, because they will revive as long as he's alive. That said, the fact that Isabella doesn't have the flying mount because of whatever bug is causing that means that Vlad and Isabella are unlikely to reach the enemy lord in order to isolate him. So we're going to once again have to use our assassin Emmanuel to, well, assassinate him, hopefully with some support, as otherwise it would probably take a decent amount of time. Alrighty, well, let's check out his stats. Well, with the Enfeebling Foe and the Master of Beguilement, they're really not much. 0 and 16, though it does look like the Strigoi have a massive amount of HP, and I guess this is a special version of the Strigoi, because he's got 13,000 HP. Huh. Oh, he's basically like a Great Unclean One or something like that. Well, that's great for him. It will take a while for us to bring that down, though, so we're going to have to get a few more units in here. Vlad and Isabella are going to distract as many enemies as possible, and we've actually used the Tormentor's Sword on them to prevent them from moving away, while the Black Coach is distracting another blob of enemies, all just to let Emmanuel fight the Strigoi. Otherwise, we're going to move a few more elites in, i.e. the Devils of Schwarzhofen and maybe the other unit of Vargeists, as well as the Blood Knights and the Dire Pack around the enemy army to kill the enemy lord, because once again, the army is irrelevant and only the lord matters. Alrighty, well, in the meantime, these are going to be duking it out for quite the while. Alright, getting a few buffs on Emmanuel as well, just to try to help her kill a little bit faster. Van Hell's Dance Macabre, and out comes Mind Razor, bumping her up to 719 weapon strength and 106 melee attack. Some nice and relatively cheap buffs. I believe 7 mana for the Mind Razor and 4 for the Dance Macabre. Oh, I like that jumping animation on the Strigoi there. It'll be nice when we get our own Strigoi to play around with. Otherwise, we are still distracting the enemy, and we are keeping our own Mortis Engine dueling with the enemy Mortis Engine in the main blob here. And they're almost like two ships facing off. Could see some cannon fire going between them. Ah. Wouldn't it be great to have like a Vampire Coast version of the Mortis Engine, except it's like a little mini floating ship with cannons on it? I mean, if they could build a Necrofex Colossus, why not a Vampire Coast flavored Mortis Engine? Anyway, we are dropping also a Pit of Shades right on top of our Black Coach, which is getting hit by 5 different units, 2 separate units of Crypt Horrors and a Crypt Ghoul and 2 Bat units. Obviously, the Horrors are not going to get hurt by the Pit of Shades, at least not any... Well, maybe a little bit, let's see. Like 20% damage. Obviously not that much, but all of the other units that were here were basically insta-killed. All those dead bats on the ground. We're also going to summon some zombies to allow the Black Coach to book it the heck out of there, leaving a path through the enemy, just because I don't want it to be in more danger. Otherwise, the Black Knights, or rather Blood Knights, as well as the Dire Pack, are here, and the Devils of Schwarzhofen have come to help with killing the enemy lord. And there we go, and we continue popping Master of Beguilement on him to prevent him from doing any damage to us, and now that he's surrounded, he should start taking a lot more damage. Of course, he doesn't have much armor either, so the lack of armor piercing wouldn't be too bad. Alrighty. And now I'm refusing to commit a lot of our army. Most of the weaker forces are all the way back here, as there wouldn't be any sense to commit them to an infinite battle, essentially, between undead, or an endless battle between undead here. Gotta wait until the enemy dies, as in the enemy lord dies, then we can commit those forces. I really love the fact that we have 2 Mortis Engines facing off against each other, sort of. Alrighty, and how's that Strigoi looking? Not so great now, a mere 3.6k HP, and it does look like he's begun to crumble. A little bit more work from Emmanuel and our pile of elites here, and he shall be dead very shortly. Alright, you guys get him. Oh, he's got a little tiny set of Graveguard defending him. Cute, though apparently not for long, as down he goes and the Graveguard become irrelevant. Huh, did they spawn right on top of him, or did they run in from somewhere? I suppose it doesn't matter much, because the rest of his forces will not survive this, and will all just start melting. A really simple quest when you can get them isolated. I feel like the AI should have probably concentrated all of its forces around that particular unit in order to defend it, but that's why we booked it towards it as fast as possible with Emmanuel and used our Tormentor Sword on the other units. Oh, and it looks like we've got a winner in terms of the Mortis Engine there. Well done, buddy. The Claw of Nagash beats the regular one, and it looks like the Necro riding it is pretty happy about it. And there we go, just like that, the battle's over. Pretty darn simple, losses were quite minimal as usual, a decisive victory, and a very, very powerful item acquired. Alrighty, easy enough, very minimal losses, obviously. Once the enemy lord was dead, they stood no chance, and we got a fairly okay amount of XP, 2 levels out of it as well. And we shall take a... Now let's take the money, we're in our own territory anyway, so it won't matter. A Black Cat for Manuel, and more importantly, the Karstein Ring for Vladdy Daddy. And that's gonna be quite nice. And casualty replenishment for all armies, And on top of that, we're now at 6 out of 12 on those blood kisses, so getting closer. Within reach, I would say. Anyway, unfortunately with that, we are once again out of time. Next time, Vlad will probably continue policing this area, maybe try to get a fight with Festus going, but we shall see. There's other stuff to take up here, as well as try to hold on to what we already have. Batilda's looking towards fighting a bunch of orcs in Skaven, as there are 3 full stacks around, and we may have to defend one of these territories, though I'm not yet entirely sure which. And lastly, we got Rudy versus potentially Queek, as he is moving around here to attack something. Maybe Varenka kills, maybe we'll try and ambush or something along those lines. We'll see if that all works next time. Don't forget to leave a like and comment for your friendly neighborhood heretic. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.